Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well on today. You ever have one of those days that you like something from childhood just pops in your mind and you start like singing it? And that's what I've been singing like pretty much all day. It's like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? I don't know. That's Mr. Rogers from PBS from childhood. It's just been in my mind. I don't know why. But I thought since I was singing it, I would share it with you and then also ask you to be my neighbor, like a good friend. And please subscribe to the channel. I thank you in advance for subscribing, hitting the notification bell, liking the video, commenting. I always respond, and sharing the video. So yes, we should become good neighbors, good friends, where we can build a community of people sharing about the wonderful information that I'll be sharing regarding uterine health. So let's get into it today. I should say. So my full disclaimer is, per usual, always in the description, and also check the description. Sometimes I do put links to more valuable information that I find that has been very helpful to me. So it may also be very helpful to you. So I am not a medical doctor is my disclaimer. Thank you for everyone that is a medical doctor, but I am not a medical doctor. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about the results of my ultrasounds. And so, because I'd like to give results on everything, I go into detail, but there is another video up there of my first ultrasound that I did as well. Okay. So this channel is called Uterine Health. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about it. So today I'm going to continue on my uterine health journey, and I'm going to provide the results, like I said, of my ultrasound. I want to also provide you with an update. So I had my ultrasound in March, right? March of 2025. This is my uterine health journey of 2025. So I had my first ultrasound in March of 2025, and that's pre my biopsy. And that revealed that there were fibroids being shown, and that my uterine lining was at 11 millimeters. And for a postmenopausal woman, I have my lovely, me, I always got some kind of prop. So this is 4 centimeters, right? So if you are postmenopausal, your uterine lining should be somewhere around here, like this. So this is a millimeter. I'm not sure if this is the correct ruler that they use, but I like to have visuals because it helps my brain. My uterine lining, hope you can see all of this, was 11. So that means from here to here, so about here to here is where mine is. And it was supposed to be here. So this is about where mine is. So I just wanted to, give visuals. I'm a visual learner. So hopefully, that helps you as you follow me along on my journey, or, gets any kind of report, you can understand that. So my biopsy did reveal that I had no cancer and no cancer cells. Praise God. Every time I share that statement, I always thank God, because it is worthy. He's worthy. And I am beyond grateful. So as you can imagine, so after talking to my doctor, because I did not have any cancer or precancerous cells, she gave me 3 options that's in the previous video. And the option I chose the next step was to have another ultrasound 3 months from the very day that, that we were talking. And so I was talking to her in April. And so the next ultrasound, April, May, June, would have been June 2025. So like I said, you can go in the previous video and look at all the options that she gave me. And then there's another video about ultrasounds. You can see what the ultrasound was like for me. I do try to give my perspective on things and how I was feeling in the moment, and what the procedures entail, so that you can manage expectation and also understand if you ever have to have an ultrasound. Okay, so I had my ultrasound in June, and I had the same thing as I had the first time. I had a transabdominal in the gynecology department. They call it gynecological sonogram, with a transvaginal ultrasound. So the transabdominal, or the ultrasound, that's where they put the image. That's where they put the gel on your stomach, and they have the little wand, and they can look at that. I think that's how they do when people are having babies and stuff like that. So that's the transabdominal one. And for me, my stomach was full of water at the time. So they said, so they can get good imaging. So I don't know if, I'm going to ask why that's so important. And then the vaginal, the one that you enter in through the vagina, vagina. I can't say it right now. Okay. Be kind to me. You say it. Okay. Thank you. And so it's where they have a wand, some kind of a wand, and it does have a latex on it. And so if you're allergic to latex, let them know. And I think they also put a little gel on there so it can have a good insertion. And you can also ask them if you can insert it yourself, or you want them to insert it, or y'all can insert it together. So it's a smooth insertion and it's not too rough and very uncomfortable for you. And again, remember, if you are allergic to latex, let them know that when you're making your appointment. Transvaginal. Yay. Okay. So I noticed that during this part of the procedure, so she did the trans abdominal, and that was fine. And then I went to the restroom and, to relieve my bladder. And then when she was doing the second part, the TV, we're going to call it that, right? Because some reason I can't get that out today. I can only get it out so many times. So when she did the TV, that I noticed that, how they're on their machines. If you ever have one where they're have the wand inside of you, they're on their little machine and they're looking at stuff. And I noticed that, she seemed to be looking for something because, number one, to me, the ultrasound is very uncomfortable. And you might have a slight discomfort and pain, and I'm just trying to bear it like, as much as I could. So I think I should bring squeeze balls or whatever those stress balls are next time I take one. But anyway, so you could tell she's looking for something because it's almost like she's going up here looking for something. Look, I'm just like, okay, what is going on here? I just picked that up, right? It's almost like you're looking for something and you see it, it might be there, or something's blocking you from seeing it or something like that. So you're trying to push it away or something like that. So I inquired because, again, this is my medical appointment and I need to know the text agenda was to do the ultrasound. Yes, my agenda is still to ask questions, to understand what is happening to me at this moment, because I'm feeling another level of discomfort. And since I had the first ultrasound, this one's a little different for me. And when I spoke to her, she said that she was having a hard time finding my uterus. I thought, what? Did my uterus leave me? Did it go away? What happened to my uterus, right? And so she told me that the fibroids was blocking, so she couldn't get an image of my uterus to be able to measure my uterus lining, right? Again, why I say it's so important to know where your fibroids or any tumor, any cyst, any polyp, where exactly it is in your body is so key and so important, right? And so that is what. So afterwards, I met with my doctor, and she did explain that fibroid blocking can happen during ultrasound. So it's not the first time. And I was like, oh, okay. So living and learning, right? And she did let me know that the fibroids haven't really grown. They are, stable, which is good because, of course, you don't want them growing any more than they need to. They really need to shrink and leave my body is what I'm believing and decreeing, right? And so she said there were four large ones, excuse me. There were four large ones. And so they are the ones that was blocking getting any kind of proper imagings and stuff like that. So I like this doctor. She gave me 3 next steps, right? I wrote them down. So the first step was to repeat the ultrasound and have another ultrasound. Okay. The second was to have an MRI. And it's not technically used, but it might be helpful because the MRI does, when they do the MRI, it does scan some parts of your body as well. The other one was to have the histoscopy. Where's my little sheet of paper to make sure I'm saying it right? Is to have the histoscopy, right? So, and I explained that in the previous video if you want to understand what that is. Yes. See, I have it here. I have all my notes right here because, I can't say this word gives me a tongue twister too. So it's hysteroscopy. So that was her third recommendation. And just as a note to you, if you've never had an MRI or don't know what that is, the technical for MRI is a magnetic resonance imaging that scans, and it's a scan that is non-invasive. It's a painless medical imaging technique that uses a strong magnetic field and radio waves to create detailed 3D images of organs and tissues. So that's why she said it's not ideal, but she could probably still gather something from an MRI. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I never like to assume that people know anything, and I like to be as transparent and as educational as possible. So I like to know what things stand for and what they do, to be perfectly honest with you. So put this over here, my little note. And in case you never had an MRI, it's like this big round machine. If I can get my hands like this, and it has an opening right there, and then you like lay on the bed, and I guess the people that's doing the test will control it, and they'll slide you into that big round hole. You can probably think of it like a bagel or a donut, but at the bottom of it, it's like chopped off, and so it's like you're sliding in there. Maybe that's what I should be thinking about when I'm having these, because those things are scary to me. Maybe I should be thinking I'm in the land of donuts. Yay! Yeah. So I don't know. So that's what it is, and the machine can be pretty loud too. So if you have noise issues or things like that, so this is something, if you have to have one, I would discuss it in detail with your doctor. But like I said, me personally, I'm terrified of those machines. Yeah, whatever. So after speaking to my doctor, I decided that I would go ahead and have another ultrasound and repeat it, but I wouldn't wait the 3 months. I would have another one. So this was June. So I scheduled mine a month later in July to have my next ultrasound. And that would be my second ultrasound post biopsy, but that would be my third overall ultrasound during this whole journey. So I've had 3 ultrasounds, one in March, one in June, and now I'm having one in July. So just trying to make sure you keep up with me. And so this particular ultrasound that I had in July was successful, in that the fibroids were not blocking. Thank God, them fibroids trying to take over. We all need to have like a meeting, right? People that have these things, and we just need to come against them in the name of Jesus, that they just be fleeing and getting out of our lives. Okay, whatever. So let's get back to this. So they were able to measure my uterine lining, and I went back to look at my test results. So that's why I'm so grateful that I do utilize the portal with my doctors and things of that nature, because they upload all of the test results and their comments, and it makes me go back and look. So for this, I specifically went back and looked, and I have my little notes right here so that I could give you proper information of, wanted to just be transparent with me. So here are the results of this third ultrasound that I had. So it says that I had an enlarged myomatous uterus. Sounds so scary, but basically it's a uterus that has fibroids or benign tumors, which fibroids are benign. The second thing it revealed, the ultrasound revealed, was that I have 4 fibroids that they could measure. And she said there, and the text said there are an additional fibroids, but they're too many to number and measure. That sounds scary, right? So when you see a celebrity that comes out, like one that just recently did and said they have over 50 or 50 fibroids, I can believe it. You tell me I have 4 and there are numerous ones under, there as well, but they're too many to measure. I need to know how many is in there. Yeah. And so that is why I think it's so important to know where these fibroids are and what they can and cannot do to your body. Some people have really bad things. These fibroids are not upsetting me. They're not causing me any pain. And for that, I'm grateful. But a video on fibroids is coming very soon. I've been doing some research on some stuff. And the third thing that it revealed was there was a scant amount of fluid still in the uterus, right? And then lastly, it revealed that my uterine line measurement was now 20.4. So I'm going to go over these again. The 4 results revealed that I had an enlarged myomatous uterus. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong too. And but basically that's just a fibroid that has benign tumors like the fibroids. Secondly, it revealed that I had 4 large fibroids and a number of fibroids under that, 2 numbers to measure. Third, they saw a scant amount of fluid in the uterus. And then lastly, my uterine lining was now 20.4. So of course, you guys know me, I have my handy dandy. So again, it should be around this size. If you are postmenopausal, it should be that size. The first, if you remember, the very first ultrasound revealed that it was at 11 millimeters. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's at 20. So it's like from right here to right here. So to me, because I took a little note, that means that this uterine lining has grown in 4 months, an additional 9 millimeters. So it went from here to here, from from what, March to July. It went right here, and yeah. So I just want you to see. Again, I use this as just as a measurement tool for myself. So it started here in March, and now this is the end of July. This is July, and it's right here. So that's a big growth for me, and that was very concerning. So I just wanted to make sure that I show that. So that means it's aggressively growing. And a lot of times within African American women, I've noticed, and it may be from other women too, when something is aggressively growing like that, that's alarming. That really should be alarming, to yourself and definitely to your doctors. And if it's not alarming to your doctors, then you better make sure that they know this is something that you're aware of, that is growing, pretty large. So after, realizing that the uterine lining has grown and that there was still some fluid in the body, that meant to me, in the uterus, sorry, that meant to me that there must still been some kind of bleeding going on. So my doctor made the decision, and I agreed to have our wonderful hysteroscopy. So to have a hysteroscopy, that's it. To have a hysteroscopy, and that was a good decision to me, because again, it's very, very alarming. And so I just wanted to make sure that, I'm glad that we both decided that this will be the next step in our journey, and where she could really get in there to see, what's causing the growth of the uterine lining, and what's also leaving, fluid in the bottom of my uterus, or my uterus wall, if that's what it's called. So I just wanted to give you the results of my 2 ultrasounds that I was not expecting to have. But I'm very glad that I made the decision to go ahead and have the other ultrasound done, so we can have a measurement there too. Because at least now it's on my file, and we see that that was aggressively growing, and we knew to take immediate actions to see what's next. So what's next is the hysteroscopy, right? So again, as always, I thank you for being on this journey with me as I relive everything that happened in 2025, hoping that this is a blessing to you, hoping that it is causing you to want to have your own education, your own conversation with your friends, your families, your daughters, your nieces, just to bring this to light. Uterine health is not something you hear about. Like, I just had my breast exam. You hear the push for the breast exams, but I think we need to have more push for what goes on in our womb and what goes on with our entire uterine health life, right? So I thank you very much. I thank you for continuing to engage with this channel, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you on the next time. Bye for now, my new beautiful neighbor, or if you've been my neighbor, my friend. Thank you so much for staying with me. Talk to you later. Take care.